Thank you very much, and we'd like to welcome you to this special call business meeting on this Tuesday night, the 28th of June, and especially those of you that may have joined us virtually. And please note that all board members and superintendent are present. And so I'll call the meeting to order at this time, and if you would, join me for a moment of silence. Thank you, and if you would, stand with me and say the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and you may be seated. And item C is to adopt the agenda.
Motion we adopt the agenda.
Mr. McQuarrie made the motion to adopt the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hart seconded. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let me know by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The agenda is adopted. Item 2 is to approve the second reading for the KSBA policy updates, including the option for 09.1222.
So as you all know, each year you're asked to update KSBA policy, and typically we don't have any issues regarding that. Most of those policy updates are legislatively driven, things of that nature. There are no issues that I have been able to find with any of the policies or any concerns that I have. We'll certainly address any that you may have. However, there is one requirement that's a little different this year, and that is policy 09.1222, built around House Bill 563. You're being asked as a board to determine whether or not, as a district, we will accept non-resident students. As most of you know, in the past, non-resident students came to us through a contractual agreement that we had with other districts. For example, we may say, we'll take 3 of yours, you can take 3 of ours, and we have to be within 1 or 2 of each other in order to allow that to happen. We had contracts with, I think, about 17 different districts. Because of House Bill 563, that is no longer the case. House Bill 563 has eliminated the need for those contracts, and it now says that a student can attempt to attend school in any district that's willing to accept them as a non-resident student. However, when they are accepted, their money from that other district would flow to us, or vice versa. If somebody left us and went to another district, that money would flow with them. In the past, that's why there were restrictions based on contracts. So my recommendation to you as a board is that we accept students who would petition to come to us. And there's a set of criteria that they would have to meet. One of those things is they have to be in good standing with their current district. So if somebody asked to come and they were had 60 referrals last year, we could opt to say that they are not in good standing with their district, and we wouldn't have to take them. We could choose to, but we wouldn't have to. There's always the allowance for charging tuition, but as again, I say, the money is going to flow with them, and if the district ever decided that you wanted to put a tuition fee on there, we could. I checked today, and we can't seem to find that there's ever been a time when the district has charged a tuition for somebody who came. This does not have any impact on our teachers who bring their children with them. They can continue to do that. They're free and welcome to do that as they have been in the past. And anybody who's already been attending with us, we would not send them away in any fashion. We would continue to accept them. So my recommendation to the board is that we check the box that said, yes, we would accept transfers that met that criteria and move forward from that point, and then adopt and approve all of the policies that are part of the KSBA update.
Thank you, sir, for that explanation. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Dr. Lamb made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Davis seconded. Now, do you have any questions or concerns?
Just wonder how the concern athletics, this particular start coming school year, we've had some of our athletes decide they're going to different schools, or we're in the process of seeing if they could go to different schools and that.
So House Bill 563 says that if this transfer happens on July 1 or after, that individual has to sit out for a year. There are no options. Anything prior to that, or somebody who changes residency like they did in the past with petition KHSA, as they normally have. So that would still function as it always has. But if somebody, say, July 15th said, we'd like to come to Garrard County, we live in a neighboring county, we're not going to move, but we would like to attend, they could, but they would not be able to participate athletically for us for a year.
And the same would apply for them taking
Exactly.
us. So you got, if you're gonna get recruited somewhere else, oh, wait a minute, that's not called recruiting. Must be something else. And to go to an adjoining school because, you perceive that their sports team has a better chance for you to get some more recognition, then it's still okay. It's still got to go through KSH.
KHSAA, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
whatever that acronym is. Can't remember, don't even try anymore.
Okay.
But, okay.
All right.
Mr. Sullivan, I just want to make sure I understood what you said correctly. If they do the transfer prior to July 1,
Then
they're not
they
affected, but
They
if,
could petition KHSAA at that time. And if KHSAA ruled them eligible, then they could participate.
okay.
But this really becomes effective as of July 1. And as long as House Bill 563 is in place and doesn't change, even in the future, if somebody transferred next year, that would be a year out.
Okay. Anybody else? Y'all good? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. All board members were in favor. Item 2 is approved. Item 3 is to approve the use of district softball field for tutor travel team.
So we have just lost a feed. 1 second, let me get this back. Not a feed, just the visual.
I was gonna say, I saw a little thing in here about that.
Yeah, we didn't
We
lose the
lose the
feed.
feed.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Eddie Tudor, who is a local resident and a bus driver for us, has a travel team. He's asked us if we can allow his travel team to practice on the district softball field. He has produced the necessary insurance. He does have individuals who play for us as well. Be my recommendation to you that we approve the use of the district softball field for the Eddie Tudor travel team.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion? All right, Mr. Query made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Ms. Davis seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. All board members were in favor. Item 3 is approved. Item 4 is to approve adding community education director to the director of public relations job description.
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to table this. We had looked at the possibility of doing this through the funding matrix, and the funding matrix said that we could. However, yesterday we received the actual grant, and there's some wording in the grant that's a little unclear that says that there has to be a full-time employee, and what we were proposing was not a full-time position. So we petitioned KDE to allow us to do what we're proposing, but until we get a yes from them, I don't want to come to you and ask to do something that at some point we could come back and have to say that the district has lost the funding and that we're going to have to reimburse the state. So I thought we would have an answer by today. I'm sorry that we don't. We'll bring this back in July, but I will just share with you the context of what we were doing. So as most of you know, it's a position that is funded by KDE. KDE provides $20,000 a year. It's a 2-year grant, and we add a $5,000 match to that. And I'm sure you understand how challenging it would be to hire a person to do this job as a full-time job at $20,000. So we had come up with the idea that since a lot of this is promotion and trying to put information out to our community and bring it in, that we would try for a year to see what this looked like if we connected it to our Director of Public Relations, who happens to be in the room tonight. And when I met with her, before I even shared with her this idea, I shared with her the vacancy, and she said, how about letting me try this? So this was not us placing something on her. It was an idea of mutual agreement that she would like to do because she is a community member. She values Garrard County, wants to see us continue to make connections between the community and our schools. And I'll come back to you once KDE says we can and ask you to let us do that unless they tell us that we can't. And I'll be very clear and say, if they tell us that we can't and that we have to post it, then we will post the job and follow their requirements. So I apologize to you that we couldn't make the request of you tonight, but that gives you a little bit of explanation about the why.
Okay, so we'll table item number 4 then.
Need a motion to table.
Let's do it to be safe.
I'll make a motion to table.
Dr. Lamb
I'll
made a motion to table. Mr. Corey seconded. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. It is tabled. All right, item 5, speaking of July meeting.
So I just wanted to take a second here because we have a little bit of uniqueness on our July 14th meeting. A couple of our members will not be able to be with us live. We did confirm with the attorney from the Kentucky Association of School Administrators that it is possible for them to participate. What we will ask of them is that they will let us know where they'll be participating from. We'll provide a link to them, and the only thing that they have to do then is be visible on the screen the whole time that things are going on. If something would happen and we lost a feed, we would have to suspend the meeting temporarily until we could get them back. And we will deal with that if that's something that we have to. So we've already planned for this and made contingencies. It's not really a challenge for us because we always put this invitation out anyway. So we'll just make sure it's available to both of our board members who will be out during that time. And at that point, we'll be able to conduct the business meeting as normal.
Okay, so y'all will be close to the strong Wi-Fi signal.
Well, hopefully, I don't know, and won't know till I get there, but all I can say is if you lose connection, can't make it, don't worry about it. It'll just be one of those instances where you just need to continue on and just count me as absent. Because there's no use of not being able to have a connection because.
You mean if we don't have a connection with you right up at the beginning of the meeting?
Just retroactive, put it back as a absent, and that'd be fine with me, there'll be no complaint. I understand this limitation, I also appreciate it because as our superintendent said, we tried this one, we had thought about it, and brought it up once before on a telecall to see if, about that, because but there had already been some dispute with another county had done it, and then I think there was a dispute about whether it was legal or not, or whether it should count or not. And, but since we had COVID and had remote learning, it would kind of be a little bit hard to swallow that it wasn't okay to have a board meeting if you could, and we had board meetings that were remote.
And when you approved the KSBA update just a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
you
It's all
addressed
in there.
this.
It's all in
So
there.
that's the
It's
nice
all in
thing
there.
too.
So
It's all there.
that-
So
that,
we're all legit.
That makes that. And, but now, I mean, there's no sense in, because it'll be rather late over there, and I don't know their Wi-Fi connections. I do know that sometimes I have a hard time with phones working correctly over there. And I may or may not get the link.
We'll look for you if you're there.
If you're not there, we'll
You
write
just
you off.
count me, if I'm not there, just write me off. I understand completely. I would like to always try to attend every board meeting, but sometimes it just isn't possible. And that would be one of those instances. Nothing else to do.
And also you're aware, according to all that, we'll have to divulge your location too. We'll have to.
Oh, no. Don't pull Supreme Court on me and give me my home address.
No. We just have to tell where you're,
Oh,
oh,
well,
no, that we've got to do.
well, yes, in a way.
No, we've got to do
I
that.
usually
Is that
don't.
correct?
I usually don't
Yes.
make public my location, via
We'll get them.
Twitter, Facebook or whatever, and show pictures of where I am until after I get back home. I don't like to give advance notice to somebody that might not be as honest as I am.
We won't give the lat longs. We
Yes,
won't give
okay,
that
that's good.
specific stuff.
Yes.
All right, anybody else? This is just FYI, so we don't have to take any action on that one.
Correct.
Well, the next item on the agenda is to adjourn.
I make a motion with you.
Mr. McQuarrie made the
That's
motion.
a
Do I have
surprise, isn't it?
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Lamb seconded. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. We are adjourned. Thank you that may have joined us via virtual. Hope you have a great rest of the evening.